Okay. All right. I suppose there are some elephants in the room that need to be addressed. Yes, I cut my hair. Look, it's been 4 years. So save me the comments of, oh, how could you cut your hair? Oh, you had long blonde hair. Oh, how could you cut it? Oh, you look better before. Oh, blah, blah, blah. It's been 4 years with the long hair. It gets to be a bit much, all right? Got to go through like 2 whole towels every morning. You got to tie it back. It's in your eye. It gets to be a bit much, all right? I'm aging gracefully into my late 30s, okay? And everybody knows that women are attracted to receding hairlines. It exudes wisdom and life experiences. These people that cut my hair yesterday at this some random barbershop on Santa Monica Boulevard here in LA. I had an appointment at 5:30 and the game ended right at 5:30. I walked down there. I'm kind of glancing at the game on my phone, and I'm sitting on a bench outside the barbershop. We do our cute little 8-0 run. Our cute little 8-0 run. It's down 2. Then you saw the whole thing, all the shenanigans we were up to with the Duncan shoots a shot, and then Duncan shoots another shot. We missed this shot, missed that shot. Caleb gets it in. We missed another shot, missed another shot, missed another 3, take another 3, missed another 3. And I'm sitting there on the bench like, and they must be looking at me in this window like, who is this crazy person sitting outside here waving his arms around with his long hair? Then I walk into the place and I'm like, shave my head. I'm going on about wizards. And they're like, who's this guy he's talking about wizards and shaving his head. He's talking about some guy named Bam and he can't hit free throws. Like, what's it? Just shave his head and get him out of here. So that was my Sunday. Speaking of hair, what's Jimmy Butler doing over there? What's Jimmy Butler doing with that little haircut? What's going on there? He's doing a little Illuminati humiliation ritual we got going on there? Was this some kind of thing where they came to him and they go,
Jimmy, if you want another Hulu commercial, you must get a ridiculous haircut that belongs in the WNBA and lose to the Wizards. And only then will you get another Hulu commercial.
Was that what's going on? I'm kidding around. Relax. Obviously, he's in between haircuts and getting new braids and all that stuff. Third elephant in the room is the Wizards. We lost to the Wizards? What are we doing here? Do we want to be in the play-in? This team is so masochistic. Like, what is it with them? Why do they make everything hard on themselves? I wasn't even that mad at the Mavericks and the OKC loss. Like I said, like the Mavericks game, going into that game, they had lost 5 out of their last 6. We won our last 5 out of our last 6. We're missing key guys, so I wasn't that surprised we lost that game. And I was like, okay, it was a hard-fought game. We were in it, like whatever. And the OKC Thunder, look, as I'm taping this right now, they're the number 1 team in the West. They're really, really good. And another game, we're in it. Let them go on a 17-0 run, just like in the Wizards game. We let them go on a 21-7 run. But I wasn't that mad at the Thunder and Mavericks game, because I was like, well, all things considering, at least we were in the game. There were winnable games. There were good games. There were good teams. Whatever. I was thinking well, at least we got the Wizards coming up, and we'll definitely smack them, right? We'll smack them, and get a good 20-point win. It's at home. Then we get a nice 2 days off before we play the Nuggets. But no. We gotta go and mess around and lose to the Wizards. Who even named them the Wizards? Why the Wizards? Okay, so enough kidding around. Let's talk serious here a little bit. Am I freaking out? No. Is it the worst loss of the season? Yes. Is it embarrassing? Yes. We know how this team operates. We've seen this before. I mean, look at the end of the 22 season. Jimmy and Udonis and Spo were about to get into a fist fight on the sidelines. Last year the season ended in a disaster. We had must-win games against, I forget who it was, like the Hornets and the Nets to stay out of the play-in. We lost to them. Then we're in the play-in and we lose to the Hawks. Then we got to play another play-in game and we almost lose to the Bulls. The Celtics series, you're up 3, then you lose 3. Our backs against the wall with that whole thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it is with the team. It's just like the psychology of this team. Like, they're a bunch of maniacs. I've said it a million times about this team. They're an anomaly. They're a bunch of psychos. They're a bunch of maniacs. Rules don't apply to them. Ratings, stats, nothing applies to them. It's fun sometimes, and then you have games like yesterday where it drives you insane, and you just can't figure it out. And I don't think they can figure it out either. I truly believe. And look, there's zero excuse for that loss yesterday, but I really do believe that we genuinely miss Kevin Love and Tyler Hero. In the Mavs game, you really miss Kev. I don't care if it's 15, 20 minutes. Look what he did in the Kings game. The guy had 19 points and 7 rebounds in 15 minutes. It's crazy. A Mavericks team, for instance, you miss the size, the spreading the floor, defense, rebounds, just having like another big body in there. And it takes pressure off of Bam. Even if it is in a limited minutes. The Wizards game, you miss having a guy like Tyler that can prey upon a weak defense. Tyler, earlier in the season, I think he had almost a triple-double game against the Wizards. I think he had, I don't know what it was, something like 24, 9, and 10 in that early 7-game win streak we had early in the season before he sprained his ankle against the Grizzlies. And I also think that you watch this team yesterday, and I don't know if they're just physically tired and beat up, or mentally tired, or both, or maybe they thought, they're like, oh, it's the Wizards, we'll cruise right past them, or it's probably a combination of all those things. But sometimes I think like their playing style, like throughout February, they had the best defense in the league. But they play so hard and so physical and sacrifice their bodies so much with how they play that eventually it's going to catch up to you and you're going to become exhausted by it. And that's sort of what we've seen over these last 3 games, because they really just look exhausted. Like, how do you go from the best defense in February to I think we're one of the worst defenses this March? I think I heard that somewhere, like we're bottom of the barrel. Our defense. That whole ending, everybody's debating, should Duncan have taken those shots? Should Jimmy have taken those shots? Like, we shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. So I don't even care. I don't care. The question we should be asking ourselves is, prior to our cute little 8-0 run, why did we let the Wizards go on a 21-7 run? Huh? Let's talk about that. Why are the Wizards going 11 for 20 from 3 in the second half? Let's talk about that. I don't have the answer. I mean, I talked about that in the last segment. Is it a physical thing, a mental thing? We've been through this before. We went through this kind of weird funk with the 7-game losing streak in January. Then you think we're out. Then it seems like we're out of it. Then we go back into it. I don't know. Maybe it's just like a cyclical thing with us. Our free throws are still bad. 66.7, 12 for 18. If Bam's going 2 for 6 from the free throw line, and he started off 0 for 4, that's got to be mental. Got to be a mental thing. I mean, if you blindfold me, I'll go 3 for 6. I guarantee you, if you blindfold me, I'll go 3 for 6. Another thing, I'm just going through my notes here and looking at random things I've written down. Is it just me, or does Jimmy make things way harder for him than it needs to be with his finishing? I get it. He likes to get in the paint and knock guys over and be physical and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes I watch him and I'm like, dude, just shoot like you have an open shot. And instead of doing it, you are pump faking like 3 times. When you could have just shot the ball in the first place, and you like try to pump fake and draw a foul, he's falling on the floor, or he has like a nice little mid-range jump shot. He hit early in the game, end of the first quarter. He hit a really nice jump shot, and I said, oh, that's the shot. I feel like Jimmy has that nice jump shot all the time. Duncan had a rough game, 5 turnovers. 5 for 16 from the field, 4 for 13 from 3. He was rough. I was happy with Terry. I mean, Terry for some reason has this whole narrative of him being like inefficient. He was 8 for 16 from the field. I mean, look, everyone was complaining about Kyle doesn't shoot enough. Kyle doesn't do this enough. Kyle doesn't do that enough. He comes in and does cardio. Then we get a guy who comes in and actually does stuff. And I know like he's not perfect all the time, but I think he's been way better and more efficient since he's come back from that injury. He's had a lot of big games. 16 points last night, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 8 for 16 from the field. Wasn't good from 3. He makes plays. He penetrates the defense. He makes big shots. And I don't know. Obviously you saw the last video. Like I like Terry. Is he the most perfect guy ever? No. But would you rather Kyle? And I love Kyle. But would you rather Kyle or would you rather Terry? Would you rather Drew Smith or would you rather Terry? Would you rather Gabe Vincent or would you rather Terry? I mean, I love Gabe. Gabe's been hurt all season. So, enjoy Terry. And Jimmy's not getting to the line enough still. He was only, 5 for 6. He's got to get to the line more. I'm not saying he should shoot a ton of mid-range shots, but I just wish I saw a little bit more. But I noticed he hasn't been getting to the foul line enough. There is some crazy stat where it's something like if Jimmy gets to the free throw line 11 or more or 12 or more times, our record is like really, really good. Like the more Jimmy gets to the line, the better our record is. It's almost like the Wizards were like, please win this game. They go up 10, 2 minutes left. We go on this 8-0 run. And then like Kyle Kuzma, and I know the guy had a great game, but then he just takes like a bad shot and another bad shot. And then does that weird foul on Terry Rozier where it almost looked like he purposely hit Terry to like purposely turn the ball over. It's like they were handing the game to us. And then, Caleb gets that nice putback in the end, and we have to just like, I mean, how many offensive rebounds did we get? 3 offensive rebounds on that possession. Caleb puts it back, and then we still can't close the game. And look, the whole thing with, is it a good idea to shoot threes? Look, at the end, instead of just going for a 2 and going into overtime, I don't know. Once again, we shouldn't have been in that position. Jimmy's going to go for that shot. He said it before. He's always going to go for that shot.
I'm never going for the tie, ever.
It's a waste of time even debating it because he's not going to change. And, Spo seems to be cool with it. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And even if we won that game, even if we did hit one of those threes in the end or we won in overtime, I would be just as perturbed by that game if we won in the end or lost the way we lost. I mean, equally as perturbed. Equally. I mean, of course, I would rather have taken the win because we need all the wins we can. But we didn't deserve to win that game. Come on, we did not deserve to win that game. We didn't. But of course, you know how they can make up for it. They can indeed make up for it by beating the Nuggets on Wednesday. Unfortunately, the Nuggets I saw have won the last 14 out of 16 games against us, which is discouraging. And Jokic is averaging a triple-double against us, also discouraging. Also, another thing that a lot of Heat fans are talking about is why no DeLon Wright? I don't know. It seems like that Spo was going to Patty Mills more that game. And Patty's been great. I mean, he had, 7 points and 2 rebounds in 14 minutes. Remember, too, it's not easy to just show up on a team and get into a lineup and do what Patty Mills did the last 2 games. Like that's not easy. It's not easy playing 14 minutes to just kind of get thrown in there in a small amount of time and be like, okay, go play. And then we're going to only give you 14 minutes. It's hard to get into a flow. So for Patty to do that is pretty impressive. Spo probably thought, well, we need some kind of offensive spark. But you could just as easily make an argument of, well, we could have used a defensive spark as well from DeLon. So I don't know. That's another thing. Once again, let me know what you guys think. Also, real quick, I want to shout out Jovic. I don't think I really mentioned him in the last few videos. I've been pretty happy with him. Remember, too, when it comes to guys like Jovic or Jaime, you got to remember, like, with Jaime, the kid's a rookie. With Jovic, kid's 20 years old. For us to be getting what we've gotten out of those guys this season is amazing. Unfortunately, it's kind of at this point now where we're like really reliant upon them. 23 minutes, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 for 6 from the field. Hey man, there aren't a lot of 20-year-olds in the NBA that are doing that kind of stuff. Where he was at the beginning of the season versus how he's been lately since he's been starting, it's pretty impressive. And with Bam, everybody's kind of harping on Bam right now, and I get it, but Bam will be okay. That's it. I'm talking too much. We got to come out of this rut. We came out of a rut already earlier in the season. We'll come out of this rut again. You know me. I'm always optimistic about this team to the point of delusion. I'm gonna keep saying it, and even if it sounds like an excuse, but we need Kevin Love and Tyler back, man. We need those guys back. They're really important. They're really a big help to this team. That's it. Nuggets on Wednesday.